Hi, everyone. Well, today it's going to be a warm one over SoCal as we enjoy the sunrise once again. We're going to go through some big changes in the next few days. Look at Pasadena. A high of 81 today. Hydrate, stay cool. But after today, the temperatures start coming down over the weekend. Numbers in the 70s, and by the middle of next week, a big drop in the 60s. So we're going from the warmest day of the week to cloudier and cooler weather over the weekend, and next week tracking a potential storm for Christmas. So let's get into it. Today, the warmest day of the week, plus a possibility to break some record highs. Check this out. In Burbank, the record is 83. We're flirting with that record of 84. Ontario, today 84. The record is 85. In Riverside, 85 is the high, but the record is 89. And in downtown LA, if you were curious, 81 is a high today. The record is 86. These are the temperatures for everyone. Starting off with numbers in the 50s, areas of fog near the coast, breezy winds through the I-5 corridor, and then gradually we'll all get to that sunshine. The winds will ease and the fog will start to lift, but it will still be a little hazy at the coast. That's where we're going to have 70s. Inland temperatures will be in the mid-80s. Van Nuys, Santa Clarita, San Fernando Valley, mid to upper 80s, and 70s in the deserts. Big Bear, 66. Now, a wider view of what's happening with satellite and radar. We've had a persistent area of high pressure that's dry, sinking air over Southern California. That's why our numbers have been above normal and why our weather has stayed dry. But if we take this wide view, you see all of that cloud cover. That is a plume of moisture, an atmospheric river that's aimed straight towards the Pacific Northwest. It is that area in Northern California that will see a continued chance for rain as we head into the weekend. Here we are looking at the weather on Saturday. This is the reason why our numbers are going to start to come down, and the cloud cover will increase because of storms up to our north. Now, I'm going to stop the clock early next week around 3 p.m. And you'll notice that the weather is still dry for us, but then we start to tap into a little bit of moisture. There's a chance that the rain could increase by Tuesday afternoon for us. Right now, we're looking at the chance of rain for Christmas Eve on Wednesday, a little bit on Thursday, and still a chance of seeing some wet weather on Friday. Now, the storm is still very far away, and there's a lot of uncertainty, but there are some details that are starting to come into focus, like the rainfall probabilities. Right now, the rainfall probability for seeing low amounts is low. The probability of getting high amounts is also low. Right now, the chance of seeing moderate rainfall amounts, 30%, and the most likely scenario is that we have these high amounts, about 50% chance of that happening. That means the coast and valleys could get from 2 to 4 inches, with the foothills and mountains possibly receiving 4 to 8 inches. This is from Christmas Eve all the way into Friday, December the 26th. We're still very far away. We're keeping an eye on it for you. Here's the weather in the coming days. It's staying dry. Temperatures cooling through the weekend in the low 70s. At the coast, we're going to continue to see that fog each morning. The weather for the valleys, the Inland Empire, you also see that cool down from 80s to 70s. And next week, along with that chance of rain, the temperatures coming down to the 60s. The forecast in the deserts, breezy today, 80s for our friends in the low desert. Next week, temperatures coming down to the 60s and 70s. And here's the forecast for the mountains. I do know that this next storm system has high snow levels, so it's mostly going to be a rainmaker, not a snowmaker, but stay tuned.